Find this love bomb thing from a female perspective.
Okay, so love bombing is when the predator, the narcissist, studies the prey. For example, he'll go to your Instagram account, he will read all your quotes, watch all your stories, watch who your friends are, follow your friends, watch what they do, look at your interviews or look at your lifestyle and everything. And basically, he will, like a chameleon, convert himself into everything you wanted. So he'll come and he's like, oh my God, I like women who are smart and who are independent and I'm not intimidated. I'm like, oof, I like that. Because I talk about that a lot on my Instagram, for example. And then he's like, I don't get how people are rude to other people because I love humans. And in your head, you're like, oh my God, that's my soulmate because that's who I am. But on the other hand, the guy studied you.
Love bombing is a very unhealthy thing. And if a person is throwing the word love at you before y'all even in a relationship, before y'all done put some structure between the two of y'all, that's love bombing. And you should be very afraid of that because there's never a healthy cause behind why someone is just throwing the word love at you without bringing proof with it. But you also have to understand with vulnerability has to come protection. The more you are willing to open your heart, the more vigilant you have to be about when, where, why, and how you open it.
Hey fam, today we will be talking about love bombing, how men love bomb women, the secret reason behind love bombing. It is a manipulative tactic. We will also talk about building relationship structures, the negative implication of love in a relationship, and suggested ways love is supposed to progress in a relationship. There's really no one size fit all here, but it's just what people are suggesting. Let's get started.
If love, the word, was able to get you that far off your square to where he was able to sleep with you, then you're not protecting yourself. This newfound vulnerability you have, you're not protecting it. Okay? Because the word love should not be enough to gain access to these new vulnerable spaces. You had to do a whole lot more than say you loved yourself to gain access to those vulnerable spaces within yourself. And so a person just saying that they love you shouldn't be a key to anything.
Ladies, why would a man continue to love bomb you, but when things get serious, say he's not ready for a relationship? Let me just say this. Sometimes some guys, they're just scared of commitment, okay? So they're very much comfortable in a situationship. Some guys, you got to give them some time, all right? But I would say for most of the time, it's usually just to keep you around, right? Like, he just wants to sleep with you. So he has to love bomb you and tell you what you want to hear so you continue to stay attached to the situation and you don't run off somewhere, right? It's like a lot of times after a guy cheats on you, he's going to tell you what you want to hear so you forgive him and stay around, right? It's a form of manipulation. But just let this be known, though, because I hear this all the time with love bombing. Love bombing is not a bad thing. It's just people use it in a bad way. Love bombing is a form of love language. It's words of affirmation. If you see someone and you, like what girls do to other girls, you compliment them, even if you don't really believe it, you know?
Building a romantic relationship structure is very important in every relationship if your goal is to have a successful and a long-term relationship. Building a romantic relationship structure involves establishing a strong foundation, fostering communication, maintaining trust, and nurturing mutual growth. Here is a structured approach to building a romantic relationship. Foundation: lay the groundwork for your relationship by understanding each other's values, goals, and expectations. Discuss what you both want from the relationship and ensure you are on the same page regarding commitment, exclusivity, and long-term plan. Number 2 is communication. Open and honest communication is vital for any relationship to thrive. Create a safe space where both partners feel comfortable expressing their feelings, thoughts, and concern. Listen actively, validate each other's emotions, and be willing to compromise when necessary. Other structured approach to building a romantic relationship includes trust, respect, quality time, intimacy, independence, adaptability, support, continuous improvement. By following these principles and continuously investing in your relationship, you can build a strong and fulfilling romantic partnership that stands the test of time.
So how long does the love bombing last? People ask this all the time. Generally, in my experience, love bombing lasts from 2 to 3 months, okay? It could last longer if the narcissist is really after something that you have.
It's going to last as long until the narcissist gets what they want, okay? Once they feel they've got you, then the mask is going to start to drop, okay? Once they feel comfortable and they know that, you know, you're starting to sweat them and you know, you're feeling attached to that narcissist, that's when the narcissist is gonna, the love bombing is gonna start to decline, because now they feel they've got you, all right? So, but usually it's around 2 to 3 months in my experience.
You had a breakup and you're trying to decide whether or not you were love bombed. Look, some people just move fast. You meet somebody you like, you check each other's boxes, you know right away, and you can move quickly. If the person moved really quickly, and now you're a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever later, and they never got close to being that person again, the person they introduced you to, the person that never felt like this before, and the grand gestures, and they treated you like a king or queen the first few months, and they never came close to getting back to that person, that's how you know. And now you're stuck because you fell in love with that potential. Because you say to yourself, I know it exists. I saw the side of them. They introduced me to someone who was amazing, so I know it's in there. Will we ever get back there? Nope. Nope. If they were love bombing you, you won't. That was the best of them. And then everything else is just downhill. And how long do you hold on? That's up to you. That's up to you.
Negative implication of love in a romantic relationship. Love in a relationship can bring immense joy and fulfillment, but it can also have negative implications if not handled properly. Here are some potential negative aspects of love in a relationship. Dependency. Excessive dependency on a partner for emotional validation and support can lead to unhealthy dynamic where one or both partners feel suffocated or trapped. Next is loss of individuality. Sometimes, in the pursuit of love, individuals may lose sight of their own goals, interests, and identity, leading to a sense of emptiness or resentment over time. Next is jealousy and insecurity. Love can sometimes trigger feelings of jealousy and insecurity, especially if there are trust issues or unresolved issues from past relationships. This can lead to toxic behaviors such as possessiveness, constant monitoring, and lack of freedom. Other negative implications of love in a romantic relationship includes conflict and miscommunication, unrealistic expectations, loss of autonomy, emotional pain, stagnation, codependency, neglect of other relationships. It's important to acknowledge these negative potential implications and work actively to address them through open communications, setting healthy boundaries, and prioritizing self-care and individual growth within the context of the relationship.
I swear I do not understand dating anymore. These are the dozen of red roses that my date I went out with the other night for the second time picked me up and brought me. He proceeded to talk about all our future dates, making plans with me. He invited me on a ski trip to Mammoth this weekend. It was a little bit love bombing behavior, so I was like pretty quiet and like not really engaging with it, but not necessarily like shutting it down or saying I'm not interested. We went out to dinner, we went out to ice cream, great chat, great time. He drives me home, and in the car, he asks me if he can kiss me goodnight, and I say, oh no, like I'm just gonna like give you a hug, which I think is appropriate behavior for a second date when you don't know someone that well. And the boy ghosts me. I have not heard from him since the date, and so these roses now mock me in my apartment. They are very pretty, but what the hell?
Severely love bombed by my first boyfriend. I didn't hear of love bombing until TikTok, actually. When I first heard it, I thought it was another chronically online buzzword. But once I started actually learning about it, I was like, oh shit. So I was 19 and my roommate at the time had invited a bunch of his internet friends to come and stay with us for the week. Long story short, I fell for one of the British guys, and then on the third day of knowing him, we decided to go and see a Broadway show. And this was like the first time that we had spent time alone together, like outside of the group. And during intermission, he turns and he looks at me and he's like, I think I'm really falling for you. And I was like, hee, oh my god, a guy likes me, this never happens. And then he's like, no, seriously, like I can't wait to tell my mom about you, like you're not like other girls that I've met, like there's something really special about you and our connection. And I'm like eating it up, and I'm like, yes, beautiful British man, like tell me more. So the show ends and we go to like the Times Square McDonald's or something, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a girlfriend back home. And he's like, but when I get back home, I'm gonna break up with her because, like, I just need you in my life and this girl's not that serious. And I'm just, like, eating it up because, you know, I'd never had male attention prior to this. Like, the trip comes to an end, and before he leaves, he pulls me aside and he's like, look, I want you to be my girlfriend. Like, you are the most perfect, beautiful girl, like, I've ever seen. And I'm like, you have a girl, I'm like, oh. So he gets back home, breaks up with the girl, and then we start FaceTiming every single night. And he's like, I need to get back to you. Like, I'm craving you. So he starts looking for colleges in New York City. And this is, like, keep in mind, 2 weeks after we met each other. He's like, oh, but they don't cover housing for international students in America. Like, what if I just stayed with you and your roommate? Like, I could just sleep on his floor. He'd be so fine with that. And I'm like, well, why would you want to stay on his floor if you could stay in the bed with me? And he's like, that's so true. Like, would you be okay with that? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like, you're in love with me. And, like, as all this was happening, I knew that something was off, but I was honestly so desperate for that, like, love and attention that I didn't really care. And I kind of just, like, ignored the flags. Obviously, none of this came to fruition, but if you guys want to hear more, like, there's a lot more. So let me know if you want a part 2.
Why do men love bomb women in relationships? Love bombing is a manipulative tactic where someone in the context of a romantic relationship overwhelms another person with excessive attention, affection, and praise in order to control or manipulate them. This is not exclusive to men. Individuals of any gender can engage in love bombing. There are several potential reasons why someone might want to engage in love bombing. 1. To manipulate and control. Love bombers often use excessive affection and attention to manipulate their partner into doing what they want or to gain control over them. By showering the other person with love and attention, they may hope to establish a strong emotional bond that makes the other person more compliant or dependent. Number 2. To mask their true intentions or behaviors. Love bombers may use excessive affection and attention to distract their partners from noticing any red flags or negative behaviors. By overwhelming them with positivity, they create a false sense of security and make it harder for their partner to recognize any underlying issues in the relationship. Other reasons why men love bomb women includes to boost their ego and to rush into relationship. It's important to be cautious of love bombing behaviors in relationships and to pay attention to any signs of manipulation or control. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and communication, rather than one person trying to overpower or control the other.
Constant texting in the early dating stages is love bombing. My name is Sabrina Zohar. I am a dating coach and the host.
My name's Allegra. I'm a licensed therapist, and I have to come on and stitch this because it is so black and white. It lacks so much nuance, and this kind of black and white stuff that is often at the hands of dating and relationship coaches who aren't therapists and who are not doing that very nuanced therapeutic work in the office with someone. These black and white takes, I think, have contributed to so much anxiety when dating, and this obsession, almost this fixation on everything is a red flag. Let me find the red flags. Everything is toxic. Everyone is a narcissist. Everything is love bombing. And there just is so much nuance. With this particular video, love bombing is a form of manipulation. It's often done when people are trying to manipulate and abuse someone. And so saying that texting a lot early on is automatically love bombing is just inaccurate. It might be related to insecure or anxious attachment, but that doesn't mean that a person is intentionally trying to manipulate someone else and to harm them. And I have clients, I see this in my office coming in saying, oh my gosh, am I love bombing? Am I toxic? Am I a this? Is this that? Is he a narcissist? Because of this black and whiteness on the internet, nuance exists. I want you to take that away from this video. I know people who have texted very frequently early on in a relationship and have wonderful, healthy relationships. I know people who have met someone and they spent every single day together for the rest of their lives and have really healthy, wonderful relationships. Nuance exists. There's a lot that goes into why people do what we do. Our own histories, our own life experience, our mental health symptoms, our traumas, and that cannot be boiled down to one simple TikTok video saying this is that. So if you are worried now that you are love bombing because you texted someone early on in a relationship, this doesn't automatically mean that.
All right, let's talk about love bombing and the differences between love bombing versus genuine interest. All right, sometimes these things can be mistaken for the same thing, but they're actually very different. This new guy you're dating is showing you love and affection, attention, He's expressing his feelings towards you more than the last dude that was always too busy for you, that broke your heart, that wasn't as loving and affectionate as this person right here, right? So you want to know if it's true love, genuine interest, you know what I mean, and not love bombing. Well, pay attention to these signs. If you want to know more tips and secrets, make sure to click that follow button. Number one, you got to understand that love bombing a lot of times is used as a manipulation tactic. All right. A lot of times these people will show you and mirror the desires that you have for a partner. They will mirror it. Okay. And, you know, whether that be you want a loving and affectionate partner, that person is going to give you the most compliments in a day. They're going to be very loving and affectionate, and it's going to be and seem a bit overwhelming, and to the point where it's going to be a manipulation tactic because they want to hide their red flags. These are the world's greatest actors on the planet. Trust me. However, as opposed to a love bombing situation, is somebody who's very genuinely interested in you. They are going to take the time to really get to know you. They're not gonna move like slow like they playing games, but they're gonna move slow with the intention of getting to really know you. So it may take a little bit more time, but it's more organic and it's more natural. It's a much more natural approach to really getting to know you, because they really want to get to know the real you, because they really care for you and have genuine interest in you. It's more real and authentic. Always remember this. A person who love bombs a lot of times has to carry on an act. And they carry on the act because they want to hide their red flags. They're going to be extravagant. They're going to try to top what they did the last time for you. And they want to bring your boundaries down and your barriers down to the point where now they know they got you hooked because they've love bombed you. And now you can't see their red flags at all until it's a little too late. A person with genuine interest, they're going to come at you with the real. You're going to know their intentions pretty much as they show you with their intentions.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Have you ever been a victim of love bombing before? Feel free to share your story with us in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.